I was a big Confederate flag supporter, and I started doing radio commentaries about that. I was an anonymous figure for so long. They called me the Southern Avenger. I did that on rock radio for since the late 90s to about 2007. I transitioned into talk radio, got rid of that mask, the Confederate flag wrestling mask, and I was still a Confederate flag defender. I probably talked about it less then and was talking about other issues, foreign policy and civil liberties and other things sort of appealed to me more, but I was still there and still defending the Confederate flag up until a few years ago.
Jack Hunter, you wrote yesterday that you used to believe that it was possible to think of the Confederate flag not having to do with racism, but you no longer think that's possible. Why is that? Why have you changed?
Well, because it's not possible, first of all, but that's the mistake that a lot of Confederate flag defenders make. Part of what Russell was saying, they say it's about states' rights. They say it's about heritage. They say it's about everything you could possibly imagine that's honorable and good and decent, while ignoring this vast history of racial terrorism. A lot of these young libertarians who aren't racist and actually change my mind about these things, black and Hispanic and Asian, these young libertarians that I met through the Ron Paul campaigns and with Senator Rand Paul, they're the ones who really got me thinking about individuals first as opposed to groups. And they were just free of a lot of that intolerance that I thought was part of the conservative package.
I think the Confederacy represents good government. It represents states' rights. And I think all 50 states should have fought for the Confederacy against the federal government when we had a chance in '63.
Still about states' rights and smaller government, the only thing I would say is, what do most people think of when they hear the term states' rights? I'm thinking of decriminalizing marijuana. I'm thinking of, we just had this gay marriage decision. Before this, I would have said that each state should be able to decide, and if, issues like that. So I'm for a lot of the same things politically, but mixing that up with the Confederacy and that flag, that's an awful argument. And it also, it puts you in a position of having to make this other argument that this stuff is okay, that it's not about slavery, it's not about racism. That's foolish. You can't say that. So why not separate the arguments that I think are good, that smaller government is better, that localism and federalism are actually good things. It can actually answer a lot of the divisiveness we see in the United States today by letting people do what they want. Why don't you separate that from people making the same arguments to protect slavery and to protect Jim Crow? It just seems foolish to do that, and I was a fool to do that.